In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best shooting guard build for Rec or ProAm in NBA 2K23. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lance. I'm the head coach of Bucks Gaming. We're going to start this build with the shooting guard position. We're going to go 6'11" or 6'8". We're going to go 180 pounds, and we're going to go 6'11" wingspan. And I'm going to stay with the solid body shape for this build. So now for the attributes, I'm going to put them and then kind of talk about like why I'm putting those. And then also make sure you stay tuned till the badges, because there is a specific way you need to add the +4 to get the most out of this build. So this build is built with the +4s in mind. So to make sure that you like get the full, I guess, use for this build, make sure to wait and see that part. The close shot's going to be a 67. Your driving lamp's going to be a 73. Driving dunk's going to be an 85. Your standing dunk is going to be an 80. And that will be your finishing setup. So 86, of course, unlocks gold limitless, but I couldn't find the best way to do it. If I lowered some of my physicals, I could get it. So if you're interested in getting gold limitless, you can. The main thing with this build is with the 85 dunk, that is actually most of the dunk packages that you'll get. So you'll unlock a few more with this. And then also with the 80 standing dunk, you're going to get some big man, like standing contact dunk animation lock. So at 6'8", if you get a cut in ProAm or Rec, or you drive the lane, you will get a rise up standing dunk animation. So if you're going against a guard who's guarding you, because the lock should be in your point guard, this is going to be a really good way for you to finish in the lane, because the person guarding you is probably going to have great defensive stats. So if you look at some of the badges we get, Limitless Takeoff is really just for the quick drops. So that's the best dunk package in the game. You get right past your defender, click up on the stick, click X if that's your only dunk package, and you should just kind of lift off and get easy dunks. Silver Post Rise is going to make it where you can get those dunks. Silver Rise Up's kind of, I wouldn't say rare, but it's going to be something that a lot of people aren't going to really like look out for, I guess, whenever you drive the lane and get those standing contacts. And then you will be able to get a little bit of Giant Slayer on this build. And if you do drive the lane, a center comes down or a big comes down, and you'll be able to finish on them. So that'll be finishing. So for shooting, we're going to go 92 3-pointer. We're going to go 79 mid-range, and we're going to go 71 free throw. So 92, absolute must-have. Got to get limitless gold, especially if you're a shooting guard, really be able to shoot those deep shots. You get full blinders. You get a lot of good other shooting badges for this build. 79 midi is not great, but you'll be able to hit consistently with this. But the main thing with this shooting setup is to get that gold limitless, which is at the 92 threshold. So I feel like if a shooting guard doesn't have it, it's not a great shooting guard in my opinion. I think it's just one of the most must-needed badges for shooting guards, especially in the team setting of ProAm and Rec. And then to playmaking, gonna go 82 pass accuracy, gonna go 85 ball handle, and we're going to go 80 speed with ball. So with this playmaking setup, if you look at some of the badges here, 85 ball handle gets you the handle silver for days, which I feel like is needed. This build is a build where you can kind of dribble a little bit. You do get gold and pluckable, and so that's why I like it. As a 6'8", you're going to have decent dribbling ability. You could lower this a little bit if you're really not much of a dribbler and more just a catch and shoot type of player. But I do feel like the playmaking added onto this build kind of makes it more unique. I would have liked to have gotten an 87 ball handle for Clamp Breaker, but I couldn't figure out a way to fit it in. But I think in general with this build, you're going to have quick first step gold, hyper drive gold, you're going to have gold and pluckable. I think you're going to have just enough playmaking badges to really make it where defense just can't, either rip you every single time you get it, or you can't dribble too long or too much. I think with this sharp build, you're actually going to be able to catch and shoot really well, attack the lane well, and dribble pretty well. And so that will go into defense. So for defense, we're going to go a 71 interior. We're going to go at 85 perimeter, 85 steal. You're going to go a 66 defensive rebound. And so if we look at some of the defensive ones, and again, later we'll talk about where to add your +4, but you will get silver challenger, bronze clamps, silver gloves, silver interceptor, all that stuff is needed. So this build's actually going to be able to play on the wing or hash in ProAm and Rec, which is really big at 6'8", getting out on the break. It's going to be pretty much almost unstoppable you're going to be almost unstoppable on the break, because most of the time the defenders that are getting back are going to be much smaller than you. And then with this defensive build, you don't get clamps super high. To unlock that, you can get to an 86. And so if you want to get clamps to silver 100%, try to figure out a way to get 86 here. Again, you could sacrifice some physicals, but for me the physicals are needed, and so I didn't want to sacrifice too much. I don't think silver clamps is a huge jump in my opinion, but if you think so, absolutely mess around with the build, kind of get it to where you want. And then we will get to physicals. So you're going to go a 79 speed, you're going to go an 81 acceleration, you're going to go a 46 strength and a 75 vertical and a 91 stamina. The physicals on this build is pretty good in my opinion. You're seeing a lot of point guards playing. They have a lot more acceleration, usually like 88, 89, but 81, you're going to move decently. 79 speed is not tied into your ball handling, your speed with ball. But again, you're 6'8", you're going to be one of the biggest players in the core when it comes to guards. So you're going to move a lot quicker than you think you will. But 81 acceleration, your 75 vert is to unlock some of the contact dunk animations up above. And your 91 stamina is going to be able to be enough where, you know, if you're moving around quite a bit or running out in transition, that your stamina is not going to affect your player too much. And of course, I always recommend getting your Gatorade boost, do your gyms and all that type of stuff. So with that, like I said, make sure to stay till the badges, because we got to figure out the perfect way to set up your +1s. So we'll take a look at the takeovers. Here's all the takeovers you get, which I think is a good majority of them. These are the two that I suggest using in my opinion, or the other good one in my opinion is to do the perimeter badge drop, which just lowers your opponent's badges a level. That's always a good one. Or the attribute, I think, or enhanced contest is also a great one. And if you're like, a lot of point guards are trying to go after you and you don't have like, you know, per se great defense, but these are some good takeovers to use in my opinion. And so with that, we'll actually jump into the badges, and there's going to be specific ways to set up. It's not going to make a ton of sense like actually on the screen, but I'm going to explain it the best I can at what badge points that you need. So it's called an inside out scorer, but I think the badges that it does get are pretty strong in ProAm and Rex. You're going to start with finishing. You're going to go rise up silver, bronze aerial wizard, bronze fast twitch, bronze fearless. That's going to unlock your tier 3s. So limitless takeoff, you could core that one, and then you're going to add bronze post or silver posterizer. So this is the finishing badges you get. I think they're pretty good for what you want to do. Like I said, this build is really mainly like a dunking build. So right when you get past the defense, you're gonna have your limitless posterizer. If you do cut, or if you just drive the lane and get down low, activate your rise up. And then fast twitch is really kind of combined down there with rise up. You are 6'8". Fearless, if you do get a layup animation here or there, and aerial wizards to throw you alley-oop. So if you don't like aerial wizard, then I suggest you could, you know, put Giant Slayer. But this is the first one where you're going to add your first +1, because I do like Giant Slayer. So add your one badge to this finishing and do get at least Giant Slayer on bronze. Now if you don't like aerial wizard at all, then I would suggest just going Giant Slayer gold and then maybe not adding your +1. But for me, I like aerial wizard, especially at 6'8". Add a +1 and add your Giant Slayer to bronze. So with that, we'll get to the shooting. And with the shooting, we're going to go gold amped, we're going to go bronze clutch shooter, bronze midi, Hall of Fame volume shooter. We're going to go gold agent 3. That's going to lock your tier 3s. We're going to get limitless and core it. And we're going to get blinders to gold. And then for your last 3, I'm going to put guard up to bronze. But of course you can put it wherever you want. And then you're not going to add any extra badges to this one. So with this, limitless range, like I said, is much needed for any shooting guard build. Blinders is actually pretty good in the game right now. So I would suggest adding blinders over any of these two. Especially at the gold level, is going to be really good. Agent 3 on a 6'8" is actually a tier 2 badge, which is insane. So you'll be able to shoot off the dribble from the 3 and things like that. So agent 3 being here is really good. Guard up, I would like to get higher, but if you want to lower volume to gold, you could get guard up to silver if you think guard up's great. I actually really like volume shooter. I used to not be high on it, but I found that it's actually a pretty good badge to have. Mini magician, like I said, is going to help us hit those mid ranges. Just make sure you're taking them off the dribble. Like early, we only have a 79 mid range as it is, so mini magician will kick in. Amped, don't let us get tired as quickly. Make sure we hit our shots. And then clutch shooter is actually a great badge, especially just sharp, because sometimes your point guard is going to hit you right at those final seconds of a quarter and all that type of stuff. So make sure that, you know, you really have that ability to make those shots. And I think clutch shooter can really kick in and do that. And if you don't like that, then I'll suggest maybe bronze claymore. But this is the setup that I would do. And then now for the last one, or not for the last one, for the playmaking, I'm going to go gold hyperdrive, bronze bailout, gold quick first step, then you're going to get unpluckable, you're going to core it, you get silver clamp breaker, and then this is where you're going to add your second +1. So if you had your +1 the last one, here's your second +1. You're going to be able to get handle for days to silver, which I think is important, but if you think bronze is good enough, you don't got to add it. But you add your +1, get handled for days silver, you have clamp breaker silver, handle for days silver, unpluckable, locks aren't going to get you. You get 2 gold dribbling kind of badges, and so that's really going to help you at 6'8" just to move it like incredibly fast. So I do like this build a lot at 6'8" with these playmaking badges, and I think it's probably some of the best that you can get at this size. The only other builds that I've seen that like get higher than this are those 6'9" or 6'10" ones with like 99 post control. But with this one, it's actually a legit like dribbling guard. So with that, we'll finish up with the defensive badges. And I'm actually kind of excited for what defensive badges this gets. So you're going to go silver interceptor, silver glove. You're going to go silver pick dodger. And then you're going to, this is where you're actually going to add +2 to this build. So the reason why I add +2 is it's going to get you to 7. And so you'll be able to get challenger silver, and then you could core it. And then you're going to add bronze clamp. So you're actually going to have 2 badges left over. And with those 2 badges, you're going to add +1 to your pick dodger or make it gold. So when you add your +2, your pick dodger can go gold, and then you're going to put your menace on bronze. So your +2 defense, you have 1 finishing and 1 playmaking, and that'll be your +4 for this build. So you're going to end up with pretty much being able to guard the wing and hash as much as like a lock could. You have gold pick dodger to get around picks. Silver glove is actually decent. It's not, of course, Hall of Fame, but you're able to rip bigs if they try to dribble around you. And then with bronze clamps, of course, like I said earlier, if you get it to silver, it would help you out. But I like bronze and I like silver challenger for this build. Like I said earlier, my name is Lance. I'm the head coach of Bucks Gaming. I have a Discord link in the description below if you're interested in joining. In there, you can find things like how to make the NBA 2K League. You can have direct contact with myself for any questions about the league. I do like kind of tips and best builds and those types of things in there. So if you're interested, like I said, the link's in the description below. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.